In this video, I'm going to be going over the best of the best AI tools that you will ever need to use. And before we get started, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, comment down below if you want to see a part 2 to this video. But now, let's get started. Starting off with Codium Chat, which is going to be your AI-powered coding assistant. And so it has 4 tools. It can generate your code, explain, refactor, and translate. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example of how we can generate code. And we can see it generate the code that this guy asked for. So it's basically like ChatGPT, but built into your VS Code. So it's going to be right over here. Now let's look at the explain here. So over your text, there's this menu where you can click on different options, and then this is going to be the explain, and we can see the explanation here. And then the guy asked for further questions about the code right here. It can refactor your code. So let's take a look at that. We can see it's going to be on the same menu above your code, and we can see that this is going to be the refactor code. Now it can also translate it to another language, so let's take a look at that. And so this is going to be the same code, but translated to TypeScript, I'm pretty sure. So there we go. Now, if we actually go to the playground, and then we can go to JavaScript, we're going to see an example of how we can actually use this. So if I actually go up here, we're going to see this generated code. So if I press on tab, we can see that it's supposed to convert HTML string to DOM object, and by just looking at it, we can see that this should actually work. So this is going to be a function where we pass in the content and the selector. It's going to create an element, which is going to be the div, and it's going to set the inner HTML of that div to the content that we're going to be passing in. And now let's actually take a look at how we can add this to our VS Code. So go back to your VS Code, click on extensions, and I just disabled all of my extensions. Go to the search bar, and we're just going to write Codium. So we could just write Cody, and then it's going to be the first one. Click on install, wait for it. And so you're going to click on this icon, and you're going to need to sign up or log in if you have an account. And we can see that I'm logged in. But if you're not, then you should get an error, and then you're going to need to click on this icon right here, and then sign up or log in. And now let's actually take a look at how we can generate code. So I'm just going to write generate basic HTML website template with CSS, and let's take a look at this. And now let's see how this works. So it's going to give us also a CSS file. So let's go ahead and insert the HTML. And then for the CSS, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy it, and then I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to write style and put all the styles in here. And this should actually work. So I'm going to open this with Last Server. And so obviously I didn't give it too much information. So we have I'm guessing this is just going to be the banner or something like that. We have a nav bar, we have some text, and then we have the footer. So we can see that it basically did what I asked it for. I didn't ask for really too much information. So I'd say this is good enough for me. And what we can actually do now is we can, let's say, we can select this code. And then if we click on Codium explain, it's going to explain me the code that it wrote. So if we scroll down, it's going to tell me what it does. And we could ask something like, what does the HTML file show? And let's wait for the response and see it. And so it says that the HTML file shown in the code snippet represents a navigation menu. It will display a horizontal line of 3 links, home, about, and contact. And we can see that it's right over here. So you can obviously ask it a lot of different questions, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. So let's actually go ahead and make a JavaScript file. So let's write index.js. And let's see if what we did here actually works in our VS Code. So I'm going to write a comment, and I'm going to say convert string to number. Let's wait a bit. Maybe I should click on enter. And there we go. So now we can see it generates some code. We can see that it's going to make a variable, which is going to be 42, but it's going to be a string. And then we're going to use parseInt to convert it into a number. So let's go ahead and actually write type of, and then we're going to write number here like this. And let's actually make sure that this works. So let's go to the header. And I didn't put the styles in the right place. I should have put it in here. But it doesn't matter. So I'm going to write script. And then the source was index.js. There we go. Let's reload, open. and we can see that it's going to be a number, which means that it works. But now let's actually ask it to make a game. So let's say I wanted to make a simple clicking game. I'm going to go ahead and write create a clicking game with nice styles and JavaScript. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So I'm going to insert the code in my HTML file. We have CSS and also JavaScript at the very bottom. And now if we reload, actually I think I forgot to save. Yep, let's go back, reload, and there's our button. So if we click it, we can see that our text is going to be in the button, and it does actually work. So now I'm going to write save the score after tab closes, and let's see if anything happens here. So let's scroll down, and I think that it does work because it says local storage here. So let's go ahead and insert our new code in here, go back, and if we click it, reload, we can see that it does work. So we can close the tab, open it again, and it works. And now let's actually tell it to put the text over the button. So let's write place the score above the button, and let's see if that works. So let's scroll down again one more time. This is the last thing I'm going to ask it to do, and I'm going to go over the next AI tool. Let's go back, and we can see that it does work. Moving on to the next AI, which is going to be Mutable.ai, and let's actually click on get started to see what it does. So this is really good for GitHub. So let's say that you're copying off someone, let's say you're watching a YouTube video, and then you need to use their GitHub repository, and you want to understand more about it, then this is going to be the perfect AI for you. So here I'm going to put the URL of my manifest.json template, and we can see that there's suggestions for questions, and let's actually take a look at them. So we're going to find the license information for this code base. What is the purpose of the manifest.json file in the code base? And then does the manifest.json template file serve as a template for creating the actual manifest file? And if so, how are they related? Let's actually take a look at the last question because there's a lot of information and I want to see if this actually works. So it does say the first step, it says copy the manifest.json template file and rename it to manifest.json. So this part isn't really right because this file is already named manifest.json, and manifest.json file template is going to be the name of this GitHub repository, but it doesn't matter. And then it says update the values in the manifest.json file to match your extension details. So if I actually take a look here, we can see that it is right because at the name it just says extension name, the version, that's obviously you can change to whatever you want, background, action, and all of this stuff is actually right. And we can actually see that this AI goes to this code, it reads it, and then it actually knows why you need to change and all of that. And now let's actually take a look at the second question, which is going to be what is the purpose of the manifest.json file in this code base? And then it's just going to tell you stuff about the manifest.json file. So we can see that it says the purpose of the manifest.json file in the codebase is to provide information to the browser about how to load and run the extension. And then there's more information about it. And obviously you can ask different questions like, let's say, where would I update the icon of the Chrome extension in this file? So we can see that in action and then default icon, that's where we would update the icon of the Chrome extension, which is actually right, and there's more information about it. And so we can see that this does work, and it's probably more helpful than actual YouTube videos. So you can use this AI tool to, let's say, find a YouTube video and then go to the Git repository and then upload it here. But yeah, so this is where we're going to end this video. So if you want to see a part 2, then make sure that you comment down below, like this video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and hopefully see you in the next video.